So still on the topic of women lying about how their body actually works, when are we going to tell the men that an adult female does not bleed the first time of doing stuff? So I saw a post some days ago on Instablog, and it was like a celebration of a girl that got married and they did the stuff and there was blood on the bed and they were celebrating. I'm short for words because this is a lie. An adult female will not bleed on the bed. Now, where did this whole idea of bleeding on the bed came from? I'm going to start by saying this. In 1988, the legal age in America was 9 years old. And before that, there was a time where it was 6 years old. And there was a time where it was 7 years old, 9 years old, 14 years old. And it has ranged from there from 6 years old to 21 years old. So those days where men were allowed to marry 6-year-old, that's where the whole idea of bleeding the first time came from, because they were children. To address where the blood comes from. Now, most people think it's the hymen that brings the blood. It's a membrane. It doesn't bleed. The first time I started looking at this topic was when I saw the scan results of a pregnant woman that has had a baby through the normal process, and she was pregnant for her second child, and she did a scan, and I was like, oh, I was really excited, and let me see the scan, and I saw hymen there, and I was like, excuse me, this goes against everything I know, like everything I've heard. And that was when I started looking into it. I started watching TED Talks, and that was when I found out that the hymen is elastic, has a hole in it bigger than the vagina opening. This is for educational purposes, TikTok, which means there are women who have given birth and theirs is still intact, which means it does not symbolize virginity. And to make matters worse, not every female is born with it. Which begs the question, where is the blood coming from? There's something called perineal tear when women are giving birth. It's the space between the and the back. That space tears. So that's where the blood comes from. It usually tears when women give birth. But if the child is not matured enough, it's going to tear, which is where the blood came from, which is where the whole idea of bleeding the first time came from. Now, I have a little story. It's not a story. It actually happened. So there was this small girl in my village then. I was in the village then. And she was about 12 years old. And she just had this thing because she sees the way you know, in the village, it's all about the big girls and who's hanging out with who, who's sleeping with who. So she just wanted to join. And small girls are always eager to join this group of, oh, you know, I want to be the big girls and stuff. That was when this girl did not allow herself grow up, or she started making up, like just putting herself in dangerous situation until she got raped. Now, I want to preface this by saying, we know the guy that raped her. He was never arrested. Nothing happened. Now, this girl was 12 years old. When she came back that day from when she went to, I don't know where the thing happened. I don't know how it happened. The story we got from her mom was when she got back, she looked distraught and she just started fetching water to go and shower. Like they said she fetched, was it 4 buckets of water to shower with? And she was loading the water inside the bathroom because it's not like an inside, you know the way village is now, the bathroom is outside. So she was loading the water inside the bathroom. That was when the mom was like, excuse me, ma. And she didn't want to talk. But you know, in situations like this, when you see a female, like a small girl that has been through something like that, you can tell. Like she looks disorganized. You can see it from her face. So the mom just almost instantly knew what was happening. So she just kept on probing the girl until the girl said somebody raped her. That was when the mom was like, let me see. And when the mom checked, the tear she had was so bad that they had to take her to the hospital to stitch her up. So that is where the blood comes from. It doesn't come from inside. Like